Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. And my apologies, my voice seems to be a bit croaky. Maybe it's because I haven't done a video for a few days. Yeah, so Happy New Year. It's exciting to be jumping into a new year. I don't know about you, but the new year always kind of brings a freshness and a newness, the possibilities, a little bit of trepidation sometimes on how it's going to all pan out. But this year I'm feeling very positive. So today is Tuesday. It's Trashcraft Tuesday time. And I'm going to jump in with Junk Journal January. So I'm recording this on New Year's Day, so the 1st of January. So I'm going to do the first day's prompt today, and you will see it on the 2nd. So the prompt for today, I should say to the Junk Journal January, hashtag Junk Journal January is the hashtag to follow on social media. It's hosted by Meg Journals and Get Messy Art Journal. So all the details will be linked, as far as I know, down in the description box. You can always follow the hashtag or go to those channels that I mentioned on Instagram and find out more about it if you're not familiar with the challenge. So the challenge for day one for today is resolutions. Quite a common theme, I think, for the 1st of January. I don't actually set resolutions. I never really have. I don't believe in them. I think if you want to do something, just decide to do it. Doesn't matter what day. But for 2024, I have one little word. So I had a word for last year, which was steadfast, and it worked really, really well for me. This year, for 2024, I was really struggling to come up with a word. I had lots of options, and kind of nothing was settling with me that I was like, yep, that's my word. So my husband came up with a word for me. And initially I was like, oh yeah. And it was a word that I had in the back of my mind but hadn't made it to my list because I was deliberately avoiding it. But he chose it for me, and I thought, okay, well, if you choose my word, I will choose one for you. So we did a word swap. So I didn't choose my word, and I chose my word for my hubby. So the word he gave me is prosper. Now, automatically one thinks prosper finances, but that's not... Yes, that's part of it, but that's not my focus. My focus is on prospering myself, prospering my self attitude, how I think about myself. There's a better word for that, but it doesn't matter. Prosper relationships, prosper in what I bring to you, prosper in growing my business in terms of the quality, the content, all those things. So prosper is my word, and just if you're curious, the word I gave for my husband is nurture. So similar in some ways, those two words. So this is my journal that I've made for Junk Journal January. It's going to be a combination of Junk Journal January and my regular journaling, but I think I'm going to cut down on my regular journaling and be a bit more arty, I guess. So I'm going to skip this first page. That's where I'll put the prompt list, which I haven't actually printed out yet. I've got it ready to print, I just haven't printed it. So this is my first page that I'm going to do as a spread. Just going to bend this back a bit so it's not in my way. And I've got a book page here, and I've got a paper bag which I had to cut down. And all I've done is folded down this side and glued it to make a pocket. And then we've got the gusset of the bag makes a pocket here, and then on this side I'll do the same for this page, and there'll be another pocket on the other side of the gusset, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Where can I grab something? This will do. So there'll be a pocket here and then a pocket on the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, that's my idea. So I'm working with this part here because this one's going to be glued under. So just this angled page here and then this page. also I've got in front of me is a whole pile of chocolate wrappers. And some of these were melted by children over candle, so probably won't be using those for this project. These were from the community dinner, so I went round and collected them all up from the table, all the wrappers, because some of the children were holding them over the candles, and I thought probably not the safest thing to do. So I went around, collected them all up. So I've got all those, and then some of these are from like Christmas Day, that type of thing. Again, I'm just going to tear that bit off, it's a wee scrap. Collected them up. So I have not eaten all these. I've eaten some of them, but definitely not all. And for Prosper, Prosper in my mind brings the idea of, I want to say riches, but richness. Richness of life, richness of relationships, richness of how one goes about things and what one produces. That's what I think of when I think of Prosper for myself for this year. So these glittery, gorgeous colours, sparkly, kind of plays into my idea of Prosper. And I want to do something with them because it's, you know, trash, but it's beautiful, fun trash. And I'm not sure how I'm going to adhere these. Maybe double-sided tape. It's usually what I would do if I'm sticking them in my journal, like as a memory that I've eaten this. So I'll grab out the double-sided tape, and I'm going to hand cut some kind of circular shapes. So hopefully this doesn't take too long, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me cut out hundreds of, or however many I need, circles out of this foil. That would be rather boring, but let's cut some out anyway, and I can always pause the camera. So who else has chosen a one little word for 2024? If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google or go on Instagram or something and look up one little word. I'm sure you will find the information. I can't remember who actually runs it. I just thought it was a really good idea, and I participated for the for the first time last year is what I meant to say. And yeah, it was just, I found it really helpful for times that I just wanted to give up because it all seemed too difficult and too hard. It really just kept me focused and kept me going. So hopefully my word for this year will help guide me and keep that sort of focus going in a slightly different way, because it's a different word. So I don't want to hang on to these papers forever and sort of just have them stashed away. So let's use up some of these beautiful sparkly papers. So I think I will pause the camera and continue cutting, because yeah, I can see this would be quite boring. I'll just finish this paper off. Quite satisfying to be able to throw some in the rubbish. It's like, yep, I've used as much as I can or want to. There we go. So I'm not worrying about the size, very random. So I'm just going to have a wee look and see roughly how many I might need. Bearing in mind some wrappers are bigger than others. So I'm going to need a fair few, aren't I? So let me pop you on pause, and I'll come back when I've got some circles all ready to go. 2 ticks. Okay, I have cut out a whole bunch of circles, and I've also backed most of them with tape. I'm just going to finish up the last few with you guys. I'm just very simply ripping off some double-sided tape. I think it's the easiest way, at least in my world, in my thinking, to attach something that's slippery and smooth like this foil. So most I have gone with 2 strips of double-sided tape, and then some of the smaller ones I've just gone with 1, just depending how much I think I can fit on the space. So almost there with the tape, and then we can get on to composing. And I'm not going to like lay it all out and then decide if that's how I like it. I'm just going to take the tape off one by one, stick them down one by one is my goal. And yeah, so if I didn't make it clear at the beginning, my interpretation of resolutions is the use of my one little word, because it's kind of like a resolution, I guess. It's a word that in this case has been chosen for me and will help guide me throughout the year. So we've got all our bits cut out now. So what I'm thinking, because we've got a square edge, I think I'll overlap it and then trim around the edges. And we're probably going to have some tape around the edges to gum up our scissors at the end. So peeling the tape off, it's easier if you actually bend the piece and then the backing comes off the tape more easily. So I want to try not to gum up my scissors too badly. So I'm just going to start, and I don't want it to stick to my cover either, because there's no plastic on this cover, so it could tear my paper. If the worst came to worst and it did tear my paper, I just patch it with some more wrapping paper. So I'm just going to lay them down, overlapping, sort of a little bit like mermaid scales, or I don't know, just something fun and colourful. So I do want to make sure I mix up the colours as much as possible. I don't know, I think probably gold is the most predominant colour I've got here. I don't think I'll completely cover the edge, because that's going to overlap too much and I'll lose too much of my foil. And some of these have got tape hanging over, so just push it over on itself and there it's completely hidden. So yeah, how's your year going? It's so new, isn't it? There's something about new things, whether it's, you know, a new toy or a new anything new, I think is quite exciting. So what's new in your life for this year? What's new in my life? New ideas, I guess. I've got some ideas for digital kits. I've got ideas for journals. I'm leaving one of my design teams that I'm on at the end of January. So that's new. In one sense, it's new, I guess. But I am stepping back into that design team for a collaboration in March. So that should be fun. I will be pre-recording that as March we are hoping to be away to celebrate our wedding anniversary. So I'll probably be recording it probably in February, I imagine, just to make sure I am not caught short, so to speak. So I don't know, does this speak to you of Prosper? That's kind of where my head went, so I'm going with it, and I think it's going to be pretty. And if it's not, well, it's a good experiment then, isn't it? Because that's what Junk Journal January is about. It's about having fun, playing, not being too serious, interpreting the prompts however you wish, and hopefully growing as well. So I hope to grow through this. I hope to refresh my journaling, bring some freshness to it. Yeah. If you're doing it, what are you hoping to get out of Junk Journal January? Is it experimentation, play, something new, something different, something you haven't done before? Or is it something you do every year? Like Junk Journal, because there's Junk Journal January and there's Junk Journal July, both run by Meg Journals. and I have done a few of them in the past, but I don't do every one, just as I feel like I've got space for it, I guess, or inclination. I think I need some more blue in there, don't I? Oops. Let's pop some more blue. So yeah, looking forward to the year and seeing what it's going to bring. I don't know what it's going to bring. I did have a journal sale in between Christmas and New Year, which was super exciting. So whoever bought that journal from me, they're in America. The name wasn't familiar to me, so I don't know if they're a viewer or not. But if you are a viewer and you are the one that purchased the journal, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. More than I can even say. It just helps my world go round. It makes this all worthwhile, as well as you guys out there watching on YouTube. You make it all worthwhile too, and your interactions whenever you leave me a like, but particularly when you leave me a comment. It's just so encouraging and fun. Like, I love hearing from you and what you're up to, what your thoughts are, whether you enjoyed the project or want to give it a go, or whether you just tell me about your day. It's wonderful, really is wonderful connecting with you out there. So I thank you to each and every one of you who take the time to leave a comment or a like. So I'm just going to keep going. This whole page is my plan, and if we run out before we get to the top of the page, well, we'll just do something else with the top of the page, or we'll cut some more, or we've got options. Just playing, experimenting, and I have no idea past this what I'm going to do. So this was the sum total of my plan, although I probably want to include the word prosper, because that's the point of this page for me, is that one little word, prosper. So yeah, the tape is working really well. I'm not worried that it's going to come adrift, and I don't need the whole surface of the foil to be stuck down. So I think it's perfect in my book, and it's relatively easy and quick and not messy, like my fingers aren't getting all gluey and stuff like that. Now I do have a little flap there which is not pleasing me, so I'm just going to cut an extra little bit of tape and slide it in there, and we'll take care of that little flap. That's where I only put one piece of tape on. So there we go. Where's my circles? Here they are. So I feel like I haven't paid enough attention to art journaling for probably a good year, I would think. And I think it's time to have a bit more play. Oops, that one stuck down before I was ready for it, so that's where it now goes. So hopefully Junk Journal January will sort of kick me more into the arty gear, because I have intended on doing art last year, 2023, and it just didn't happen, sadly. And I really need to pay more attention. Like, I do art for my patrons I should say, on Patreon. Quite often do drawings for the printables for Patreon, but apart from that I didn't do a whole heck of lot. And Inktober, I did drawing during Inktober, but that's not enough. I feel like I need to do more, because I love doing art and I love growing, I love experimenting, so I need to make more time for it. So I hope you enjoy the journey with me this year, in this new year. I'm so pleased to have you along, and together we can grow and explore and don't worry, I'll still be doing journals. I'll still be making journals. That is my prime core of what I do, and I love it. And it incorporates all those wonderful things. Like I can use art, I can use all my hobbies if I choose to pick them up or not. That's got a bit of tape overhang, so let's just fold that back on itself. Over here maybe. So some of these that have got edges lifting will be held down by the next layer. So I'm also bearing that in mind when I place them. And you can see these are like really crinkly, or maybe you can see that really crinkly. I haven't bothered flattening them out. I just think it's all part of the fun, adding that texture there. I think we've definitely got enough circles for this page. We might be able to put some on the pocket as well. Oh, I think it's so pretty. Sparkly and fun. And using junk. Like, so satisfying. Oops, it's got a bit of tape overhang as well. Don't want to end up sticking my 2 pages together with any exposed tape. It wouldn't be ideal. I don't think I want to bridge the gap here because I don't think it will fold particularly well. So I'm going to avoid putting it over the spine. So it's all in all, this hasn't actually taken very long, and the circles are, you know, very freehand, very irregular. Some are more egg-shaped. Doesn't matter. Like just grab your scissors and turn your foil or your paper or whatever you're cutting, and you end up with something akin to a circle, which is good enough for this. I wouldn't attempt to use my circle punches on this type of foil. I don't think it would necessarily come off that well. But if you want to give it a go with a punch, by all means go to it, because I know you can use tin foil to sharpen punches, which is what I need to do on some of mine. But this is plasticky foil. It's not the same beast. So I would not really use a punch on these. Have we got a small one left? That's maybe the smallest one. To fill that gap there. Oh my gosh, I love that. And it's very tactile. Can you tell why I'm like running my hands over it? That is super pretty and colourful and sparkly. I hope you can see all that shine and not just glare, because I think it is stunning. Right, so I'm going to use up the rest of these circles. I've cut them, I've backed them with tape, so why not use them up on this part of the spread, and it also provide that sort of continuance. I didn't know if I'd have enough to go on this side, so I was not anticipating doing this side, but we have enough left over to do some of it, at least. I could just put them aside where I keep my foil wrappers, but let's just add them in here. Now I seem to have a lot of gold, so I want to try and mix it up as much as possible, so I haven't got a whole bunch of gold all in one spot. Different golds, but still gold. Right. Oh, tape sticking to me. So yes, had a lovely Christmas and New Year. So I talked a little bit about Christmas in the videos last week, and then I didn't do a video for the Deal It Up challenge. We were out most of the day on Sunday, and we got home and it was like 4:20 or something like that, and I just wasn't prepared to go into recording a video at that stage. And hubby didn't have a nap, so he was in here with me. So yeah, I thought I'd just give myself a break and not do one, and he's gone for a nap this afternoon. So I thought, yep, let's do a video. Let's get a Trashcraft Tuesday video up, which is cool. So, and the day before, so today's New Year's Day, yesterday was Sunday, so we were out all day. We were at my hubby's parents' church, and then they took us out for lunch after that, which was really lovely. And then we went back to their place and had a cuppa. And yeah, so by the time we got home, it was lovely. And the day before that, we went to one of the beaches. It's about half an hour away, and it's a river mouth that goes out to the beach. And I swam. Hubby didn't actually swim. He waded across to get to the other side to go fossil hunting, but I swam, and then I read a book, and he wandered, and we just had a picnic, and it was just fabulous. Fabulous maybe might be a better pronunciation. Okay, so that is my foil. I could go and cut more and complete it, but I actually kind of like the brown paper there. Maybe I want to give it an edge of something. I was about to grab the vintage photo, but kind of doesn't vibe with that, does it? I'm just going to grab red and go with red, and just use the ink pad just to rub along the edge, just to define that pocket. That won't be seen, like that'll be tucked under. I haven't thought about what to put in the pocket. That might be where I journal about my day, just a few notes. Haven't got much to write about. We watched a movie so far today. We watched I don't even know the name of it. One in the Fast and Furious franchise. I think it's the latest one, number 10 or something. Just got a bit of ink on my mat there. And it was so good. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to part 2. So maybe I'll just write, a few notes and tuck them in the pocket there. Right, so I want the word prosper, and I'm thinking to do a ransom style. Working with that junk type of idea, what I am going to do is put these foils away before they end up on the floor, because at the moment they're just floating around my desk. So let's get those out of the way. Just a biscuit tin here, which my hubby bought me. It's really lovely with the poppies. Right, so now I can put this, and it's not going to knock all those all over the floor. So we want to put prosper. Let's grab out some letters from my stash here. That's a nice big P. Is that too big? I think we can make it, maybe it is maybe a bit big. Let's go for something a little bit smaller. Or this P. I like this P. P. Okay, R. I love ransom style lettering. It's so fun, and it looks really cool. So there's an R. I like mixing up the different fonts and colours, and just fun to play with. If you haven't played with ransom lettering, I thoroughly recommend it, because it's just fun. And if you're not confident with your lettering, this is a brilliant alternative. Okay, so we need another P. Maybe a yellow one. Oops. They kind of do get a bit messed up in my container here and sort of migrate a little bit to a different compartment, but by and large it works not too bad. looking for a right size, maybe that one. And mixing uppercase and lowercase is fun as well. And then I've got two bluey ones at the end. Maybe, oh, here's a purple one. What about a purple one? There we go. Cool. So we've got our letters. Oh, it's very dusty. Yes, hopefully you didn't see all that dust. Right, I think I'm just going to grab my tacky glue and we're just going to stick those on. And that's pretty much going to be my spread, I think, because it doesn't need to be like 16,000 different steps or layers, unless that's what you're trying to do. You know, I'm just playing, which is the point of it. And using up my foil stash, or using a good portion of it, and having fun. I am having fun. I hope you're having fun watching. Maybe you want to give something similar a go, or maybe you want to jump in with Junk Journal January if you're inspired to. And there's no rules, like you can interpret the prompts how you want. You can do as little or as much as you want. So if you do one day, that's all good. If you do all 31 days, that's all good. If you do anything in between that, absolutely fine. There are a lot of channels, I think channels, YouTube channels. I'm not entirely positive whether it's all channels or whether it's some of them are just Instagram accounts. So don't quote me on that. We'll find out together, I guess. So you can go there and watch what other people do, see how they're interpreting or what they do for inspiration. You know, whether you're doing it or not, there's still great inspiration to be had by following along. You never know when something's going to spark something in you and goes, oh, I want to do that, but I want to do it for this, or I want to try that technique, and just give it a go. Whether it's an art journal page or a piece of ephemera, or in your personal journal, or on a canvas even. Anything goes. Right, so reminding you that the prompt for this was resolutions, and I'm using my one little word for 2024 to go with that. And actually I might add a 2024 down there. So I've got numbers up here as well. So let's see, there's a 2 or a 20. There's a 2 by itself. Can we find a 4? Oh, I just saw a 4. Don't run away. There's a 4, but I don't want all like yellow. Lots of those are yellow. So let's see if we can find something different. Oh, there's a 22. Let's chop off one of the 2s. So maybe use 20, 24, and maybe we can find a 0. Yep, there's a 0. And use this yellow 2. Or actually we can use this 2 that I put back. Okay. Sometimes I leave the numbers together in case I want to use it just as it is. Gives me the option of using it that way or chopping it up into smaller bits. Right. So I haven't got my numbers separated out. They're all just in one compartment. And then I've got this compartment with like dollar signs and exclamation marks and question marks, those sorts of things. And there's some stars and hearts and just little bits that I see on like a magazine page or a newspaper. I add those in there. Okay, so let's put on our 2024. Because we've got a nice little gap here to put it in. And that's the first spread for January, Junk Journal January, done. How exciting is that? I think that's pretty good that I'm doing it on the day. Can I keep it up through the month? Well, doesn't matter if I don't, but I would like to. Let's see how we get on. I won't be doing a video for every day that I do, but I will hope to, you know, pop in every now and then and give you an update on how I'm going with it. But hopefully there will be the odd video, you know, through as I feel inspired, as I've got an idea of what I'm going to do. If I don't have an idea of what I'm going to do, then I'm not going to bring you along and, you know, pause the camera 100 times while I sit and think about what I want to do. That's no fun. Plus I've got lots of other videos I need to do instead. So, right, there we go. I do believe that is done. Simple. I believe effective. I just love that glittery shine, and to me that says prosper. Just about living life richly in whatever form that means for you, but for me it means all those things I talked about at the beginning. Relationships, quality, quantity as well, you know, making sure that I'm hitting quality and quantity. Now, do I want to trim those off or leave them? I think I'm going to leave them. They're just overhanging a little bit. I think that's fine. So it saves me a task. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. I love doing it, and I'll just do a little journal card or something, or even note paper. Just tuck it in there with my journaling. So that is Junk Journal January, day 1, done. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your year is going well so far, as early days as it is, but we can always hope for the best, can't we? Okay, take care, my friends. I will be back with a Wednesday video. See you then. Bye for now.